Hello, this is Nas from NB Network Lessons. Hope you guys are doing okay. My today's topic of discussion is frequency modulation versus amplitude modulation. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have noticed that in your car radio there are AM stations, there are FM radio stations. FM radio station mostly is for music, whereas AM stations or amplitude modulation mostly have news channels, talk show channels, and so forth. So now my objective in this lecture is to differentiate between frequency modulation, FM, and amplitude modulation, AM. So stick with me and I'm going to go ahead and dive in and try to explain you. So amplitude modulation, AM, the frequency range is 535 up to 1605 kilohertz. So we have established that amplitude modulation works at lower frequency, okay? Whereas FM frequency modulation works 1 megahertz and higher, 10 to the raised to power 6. This is 10 to the raised to power 3. So that works at really higher frequency range. So let's say you are at a AM radio station, and I'm going to go over, this is all high level, okay? So you have a source signal wave right here. Let's say the FCC assigned you 600 kilohertz, right? So you have this signal source wave 600 kilohertz. And this right here is your amplitude carrier wave. So to say that, whatever talk show host is talking, whatever news is being broadcast, this right here is the signal for that. As you can see, this is all amplitude. See, in this particular case, amplitude goes higher, goes lower, goes higher, goes lower, and so forth. So what we do is we create a modulated wave. The transmitter station at AM station creates a modulated wave. What does that mean? What it means is that what we do is that we take the carrier wave, okay, which is actually sound waves, and we fit them into the source signal wave, right? You see in this picture right here, all of this is basically fit into this sinusoidal wave, okay? So your amplitude is still varying, going up, going down, going up, going down. However, it is basically fit into a source signal wave. So that's how, and then basically what they do is that they push it through their huge antennas in form of electromagnetic waves, okay? And then at the receiving end, what your antenna does is that it resonates. You tune it to 600 kilohertz, right? And then the antenna on your car or your radio at home resonates at the same frequency as where you're getting the modulated wave. And then there is a perfect harmony, and the antenna at your home or in your car catches that signal and processes it and sends it to your speaker. So that's what the amplitude modulation is. But there are some drawbacks also in amplitude modulation. As you know, lower the frequency, higher the wavelength, longer the wavelength, right? If you have very high frequency, it's going to be like this. Whereas if you have lower frequency, your wavelength is going to be like this. So what happens is that this wavelength, AM, can travel further. It can travel 100 miles, 150 miles. Heck, I'm in Dallas. Sometime if I tune up, I can listen to the stations in Austin, AM. So yeah, they travel farther, but they're susceptible to interference. In other words, if there is a building in between, if there is a huge tree in between, what happened is that the signal gets noisy, and that is why amplitude modulation is not really preferred for music, okay? It's okay for talk show, it's okay for news and so forth, because obviously news folks and talk show folks want their signal to go as far as it can, but it comes with noise, okay? Because your amplitude is varying, and sometimes it's just cut off because of the interference. Whereas in frequency modulation, we will notice that they have higher frequency, they have more penetration power, okay, but they cover less distance. I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about frequency modulation in my next lecture. But if you like the contents of this, please go ahead and share, okay, and share as much as you can. So I think it's everybody who is in this world needs to know how AM works and how FM works. And I think that is my objective, to pass on knowledge to you guys so you can differentiate between AM and FM. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Have a good day.